Okay, so I'm starting to see this more and more. I saw it in a municipality outside of Atlanta. I did the video on it. Now it's in DC, and I believe it's going to spread to a lot of other cities and areas as things get more and more tight.
All day today, the scenes of what some are calling a crisis. Lines stretching around the block in D.C. as hundreds wait just to try to make an appointment to apply for rental assistance. 7 News was there as nearly 1,000 people were out in the cold to try to save their homes. Most told 7 News they were laid off and they're facing eviction within weeks.
Yeah, our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley is joining us live now from Northeast D.C. Felicia, a community member called you this morning after they were already waiting for hours.
That's right, and that call came at 6 a.m. and I got here moments later. As you can see now, it has died down. Most people have been able to make their way in, but those even at the end of the line right now have been here for more than 6 hours. Now, people told me that this was very disorganized chaos. They said that the government, the district, should have been preparing for this, especially during the season that we are in. And I saw some of that as I was here. Yeah, it drops right away. The phone number the department gave people doesn't work. Some telling me that's why they had to come in person.
I lost my job 8 months ago. I haven't been able to find a new job, and that means I didn't pay rent for all that time. And now my landlord is suing to evict me. And unless I can pay the protective order, I would probably be homeless at the beginning of March.
Oh, that's not me. This is actually the news
Get the help,
program.
but just to get an appointment.
They supposed to have the line working, and the line wasn't working by 9 a.m.
Michael has been in line since 5 a.m. and was able to walk out with a packet and appointment. A couple hundred weren't as lucky. What does this mean for you now that you have this?
This is a big step as far as me being able to take care of my family.
Councilman Treon White showed up and approached the Department of Human Services Director, Rachel Pierre, about this situation. What does she have to say about this failed planning and failed organization treatment of people?
She was basically saying she didn't want to really advertise it to prevent this from happening. And you don't have to advertise it because people know people, and we shouldn't be hiding government resources. Director
Pierre stayed in the lobby on the other side of the wrapped around line. Is everyone in line going to be seen today? Okay, so you're not going to speak today, though? The Department of Human Services provided this response 7 hours into the chaos, saying in part, quote, additional appointments may be scheduled based on budget availability to increase transparency, improve eligibility verification, and better manage limited program funding.
Okay, so limited funding is the key word. Listen, limited funding.
People told me they felt dehumanized, disrespected, and humiliated. The line wrapped all the way past that red car. Mind you, I'm on the opposite side of this street and rode in the actual parking lot. And mind you, the beginning point is still way past me on the opposite side of this building. Now, the city and the director would not respond to the reasoning of why this appeared to be so disorganized, as well as what led to this chaos. In addition to that, people tell me that now they are being given papers to tell them to come back to essentially do this process again. For
now, they should be fortunate if they get papers that invite them to come back. That means that they found some funding and they believe they can actually fund more people for more housing assistance. But the biggest thing that you got to hear is limited funding. When we put our faith and our trust in this world system, when we put our trust in the bureaucratic system, in the government to actually take care of us and sustain us, this is what happens. Because the system is broken. It's never been fixed. We've always had people putting their hands in the pocket, in the bowl, trying to fix it, saying they're fixing it, but really taking money, really deceiving the people that they're working for. And I personally believe at the same time that even Trayvon White, I think his name is Trayvon White, showing up down there. I think I read something about him having some type of being indicted by the federal government. He got some charges. They still reelected him in. This is all show. It's all pomp and circumstance. It's all designed to drive people in. Do they really care? No. Because if they really cared, they would actually take care of this situation. And they couldn't take care of it. So I don't think they ever cared. I don't think they really do care. I think they're really just trying to do the best with what they got first. And then secondly, if they can keep people angry enough as we go towards the midterms, people are going to swing their votes for more Democrat led and liberal led candidates and less conservative Republican candidates, because it makes sense. What you're basically saying is that Trump shut down the government. People started losing their jobs because employers started to pull out, and lottie dottie, we don't have a place to live. It's Trump's fault. They're going to continue to blame it on him, to find some way to roll it up to him, to find some way to push the ball in the midterms towards the liberal side. Now, my answer to this: stop depending on the government. Don't rely on them. God never designed us to rely on government. Somewhere around the line, we figured since we established this great thing called the United States of America with a powerful constitution, which it is, the most powerful country in the world, that now this powerful country is responsible for taking care of its people to an extent, not to the extent right now that we're seeing where people are out there and they're feeling ashamed because they have to stand in the cold. Somebody said beggars can't be choosers. That's a fact. Where you can't really have this type of emotion when you're showing up looking for free money and free assistance. You really have to have a spirit of thankfulness if you get it. And if you don't get it and you're recalled, you have a spirit of thankfulness. And if you don't get it at all and you're never recalled, you're like, man, hey, God will find another way to get it to me, because that's the truth. It only works if you believe it. If you don't believe it, then it is what it is. But at the end of the day, that's what we're seeing, and we're going to see more of this from municipalities throughout the country. Some of them that were affected by the government closing, but nobody will actually recognize that as being the fault of whatever party, which party, and I say is the left. They decided they wanted to push this government closing, and this is what we see. We see the effects of the government closing and lack of funds to actually take care of this on top of that. Now, if the government didn't close, will we have this lack of funds? We don't know. But one thing they did say, okay, preparing for the holidays, they should have known better. Giving out a bad number, I think that's a bad look on housing assistance program. I think that's very bad. It just looks like you are doing a bait and switch on people, and people never trust you. And I mean, why should they trust you anyway? I mean, we're talking about trust, right? It shouldn't really be in their entity. And that's one reason why you don't want to put trust in them if you look at it. Why? Why would you stand out in the cold for something like that? Because you don't know any other way to do it. The system is broken in many ways, and I do applaud Trump for trying to fix a lot of these problems, because no one's speaking about the housing assistance that's going to illegal immigrants that shouldn't be getting it. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the people that are here that ran over the border and they never showed up for their green card, or they're deciding now to show up for their green card, but they're getting government assistance. No, that should not happen. There's no way that should be taking place. And if you feel bad for being out there, know that that feeling that you feel, use that feeling to say, I will never be back here in this situation again. Like I said, this same thing happened in a municipality outside of Atlanta that I covered just recently. I think they had 120 people showed up, only 40 home vouchers that they had available. Go check out the video on my site, The Real Leon Duncan. It's not going to stop, and it's not going to slow down. But if you believe that the people you vote into office are for you, no, they're for using this as a political football, a strategic political posturing game to get what they're looking for, which is re-election, more money for themselves in their pockets, and then a little bit of shine for their constituents. God, like, subscribe, follow for more content. Know that God loves you, and don't put your faith in this system. It is not designed for you to win. It's not. It's designed to keep you in a place of servitude and dependent upon it. And now when that happens, we have situations like this, and it's a sad situation. It should never happen. People are entitled to having some type of shelter over their head, especially if they've paid into a system through their taxes and their Social Security. But we see right here that it's not happening, and don't hold your breath for it to ever happen. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. I will see you in the next video.